Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of Speak Up MK. We're really excited to bring you something different for this episode. We were speaking to Amy Vivian last week about broadcasting and her journey from Milton Keynes. This is completely different. What have we got, Jay?
So we've got two people on today. We have Corey and we have Jesita. They're both going to be talking about completely different things of what they've been up to during lockdown, what they do in day-to-day life normally, and just about mental health and things like that. So just general talk with them, but they're very interesting people. So I'm very much looking forward to talking to them. We should probably just bring them onto the screen and say hello. Hey Jesita and hey Corey. Hello Corey, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Good, thank you. And Jesita, how are you doing on this fine sunny day?
Good, thank you. Very summery. It's great.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Dom, where do we want to start with these two then?
Right, so we're super excited. You know, we had a pathway when we started Unit 9, and that was not necessarily even a live music venue, but we kind of took that opportunity and ran like the wind. At some point, and I don't know exactly when, we had the opportunity to work with Interaction MK, which is a charity based in Milton Keynes that Jesita works for. So, Jesita, I'd like you to talk a little bit about Interaction MK, and then I'd like to talk about how that, or Damien and I would like to talk about how that helped us in terms of a business. And Corey, we'll get to you in just a moment, okay?
Cool. So I work at Interaction MK as a project manager, and we are a community arts charity that's been running for over 40 years. So we were for 40 years at Pear Tree Bridge, which a lot of people probably know us from, but then we recently moved to Bradwell Abbey for the past 4 years, I think. So we do a lot of things. In the past, we've done festivals for the community. We've done workshops, carnivals. We've had radio stations, we've done lots of different things. At the moment, we're kind of limited at what we do, but we're still doing a lot of things. So we work with schools. We do Groovy Gecko, which is a monthly club night for adults with disabilities. We've run loads of projects such as Get In, which was to help people with employment. We've done a campaign project that we're running at the moment, which is working with young people with mental health. Just lots of different things, really. We kind of work with all the community with lots of specific groups at the same time as well.
And you being a part of Interaction, if you don't, someone, I can hear. That's rubbish, Dom. There's a feedback.
Is there?
Yeah. How would that be?
Let's just crack on. It's not feedback. I think someone had a noise in their house.
Have you got phones muted and everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Phones what muted?
Yeah.
Just make sure they're muted. But there was definitely a in my.
It might have been my support workers. My support workers just text me.
Okay, yeah, mute your phone, please.
Yeah, it's just muted. I'll put it under my jacket. There you go.
Cool. Right, we'll carry on.
Okay.
Dom, do you want to say what you were going to say?
Yeah, cool. So thank you. That's incredible in terms of what Interaction MK does for our local community. So we met during a new initiative that you guys are working on, which you mentioned, which is Get In. So Get In, can you just describe that in a bit more detail, and then we'll bring Corey in, because that's how we met you, Corey, yeah?
Yeah.
So basically, Get In was a project. It was for people who had been out of employment for, I believe it was 12 months or more, wasn't it? 12 months or more. And it was basically kind of the whole idea is that people have been out of employment for that long. Obviously, their mental health is a lot, they're going through some issues, and it's kind of hard for them to get back into the working world. So it's basically to kind of give them a boost, help them out, kind of point them into the right direction. They probably wouldn't even know the types of things that they wanted to get into, which also stops them from getting into employment. It's basically just kind of getting them on track into employment, even if it's not employment and it's just doing something like another project. It's just kind of getting yourself out there to build your confidence again, meeting people, things like that. And we kind of want to steer it towards the creative side, but other people kind of went into other directions as well.
So I'll add on to that, if that's all right. Obviously, did anyone hear that?
I can hear it, yeah.
I did, yeah.
Have you got someone in the background?
Have you got something happening in the background, Jesita?
I've got Bex in the kitchen, but
she's so loud.
It's not a banging noise. It's not a banging noise.
No, it's just picking up a noise and it's turning it into some awful noise.
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
Should I tell her to just turn her phone off? Because she's just playing a podcast, but she's got the doors closed.
I can't hear it now. All of a sudden, it's like a big noise. but it's loud. It's like
she's not banging. She's not clanging or anything. All I can hear is a podcast, but just the fuzziness.
Strange.
Of the podcast.
I don't know. Oh no, I can hear myself. I can hear myself through a speaker. Have you? Oh, you haven't got headphones in, have you?
Who, me?
Have you got headphones in?
No.
Corey, have you?
No.
Yeah, that's why.
But Dom's not got headphones in.
I've got these in. Do you want me to put these in?
Yeah, Corey, if you could put them in, that will solve it, because that means there's only one voice coming back through. If that's cool. That's what I've got as well.
Yeah, I don't have headphones. I probably could find some.
No, it's fine, because now there's not two voices coming through a computer.
Oh, okay. Got ya.
Are your Bluetooth on, Corey?
Yeah, they're on. I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that better as well. So, I was going to say, okay, let me start again. So I was just going to say, I just wanted to add in with the courses. Obviously, at Unit 9, we ran some of these get-in courses. And what was great about them is the people that we had on the courses were from a variety of backgrounds, cultures, different disabilities, just in completely different parts of life. But what we obviously did, we used music as our line to bring people in, and then use music to help express feelings, emotions, and to kind of find where people are in life and where they want to go. And like you said, it isn't just about putting them into employment. It's sometimes about just changing a little bit of structure in their day, just to make them feel a little bit happier. And I think that's just a key thing to say, just so people know the kind of people that come on these courses are literally from, I think we said 18, 19 years old up to, I'm not sure who the oldest was, but I definitely think we got into our 50s. So it was great to bring all those people together, and they all had so many different skills between them, completely different skills, but actually putting it together and using a bit of positivity made a huge difference. And maybe that's where we bring Corey in. Corey came onto one of the get-in courses. Corey has a keen interest in music, as we'll discuss a little bit later. But Corey, do you want to just say how you felt? You came onto the get-in course. You didn't know anybody there. You didn't know us. You stayed in touch with us, which is great. But how was it for you? How did you find it when you first joined, meeting new people, and then the course overall?
For me personally, I'm quite a socially awkward person, and that's because I suffer with autism. So with me, I have a process where I see who's good and bad to talk to. So I will put myself in a corner. I won't talk to anyone. And I will look at everyone, watch everyone, how they act, interact with certain people, and I will make my decision on who to interact with from the basis of that. So obviously, when I first joined the course, I was very, very quiet, as I'm sure you two will agree. I was very nervous, obviously, to get into the studio as well, because I wasn't very confident in myself. And then by the end of it, I ended up becoming really, really confident. I was always wanting to go into the studio because it made me feel like it was an escape from reality. That's what the studio is for me, and that's what I use music for as well. It's an escape from reality, and also to tell my story, my experiences through life, and everything like that.
That's great, Corey. It's obviously for us wonderful to hear that we could do that for you, and the power of creativity and music obviously is a huge part of that as well. But if we can just rewind a couple of steps and just talk about your education in Milton Keynes, how did you find that? You know, obviously you've said yourself you suffer with autism, or you have autism. How did you find going through education in Milton Keynes?
So I didn't actually get diagnosed with autism until I was 22 years of age. So I spent my whole life having autism without knowing I had autism. Wow. My mum was always trying to push for me to get tested for it, and I was always getting declined for it. They were always saying it was something else. And eventually, at the age of 21, I got a letter saying that I was going to be tested for autism. And then at 22, I had the test, and it came back that I was autistic. So I was really, really relieved to finally find out so-called what was wrong with me. So I could finally put that piece of the puzzle into my life, so I knew why I was so different from everybody else at school. because I was always put in, the special circle at school. So I was always put in, like, if there was like something going on in class, I would always be taken out of class with a certain other group of children, and we would do a completely different task, and to what the main kids were doing. So I always felt extremely excluded from school, and I also got bullied at school as well. And that was probably because I was autistic, because I was so different from everybody else. And it was actually it affected my home life as well. Like, I used to argue with my parents quite a lot as well about it, and the school teachers and stuff like that. It was really, really hard to try and find a middle ground while I was at school.
And I think that's why it's so important. Like, so to charities like Interaction MK, it's by no means easy to keep charities running. Financially, there are a lot of grants out there and stuff, but it's a lot of hard work that goes into running Interaction. And I think the opportunity that we had to get involved with Interaction to run these courses, Jesita will back it completely, I'm sure, that the importance of these courses and what Interaction do. And it doesn't just come from it being a job. There must be a passion behind it as well. And I know from working with Interaction as well with Groovy Gecko, how important these small projects that we put together are to a group of individuals. They have a huge impact. They have a huge impact on people's lives. So assuming you, Corey, the course, as you probably said already, really made a strong impact on your life. Is that right?
It did, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it gave me more confidence in myself, whereas, I was writing songs and stuff before I came to the course, and I brought 5 sheets of paper with loads of songs on, and you read them all. And then I was like, I didn't know how to go about it. I wanted to record them, but I was too nervous. And I remember you, Jamie, talking to me, saying that just go in there, do it. Once you're in there, you'll completely forget everyone's watching. And you were right. I mean, I started, rapping all my verses and stuff, and I completely forgot everyone was in there watching me. And by the time I come out, I had a full song.
So, Jesita, from your side, how does it make you feel as a charity and as you as a person when you see other? Because you're creative as well. We'll get onto that in a bit. But seeing other people that have struggles, but then partake in one of the courses that you guys put on. And then you hear stories like that, and this is just one. There's been hundreds of stories that Interaction could tell, but how does it make you guys feel? And I suppose that makes all the hard work worth the effort.
Oh, definitely. It makes it so worth it. Sometimes we kind of think because it's such a small project, with let's say with Get In, we had how many, 20 participants, and then it kind of decreases as it goes along. And sometimes it's quite hard because when we do a workshop and we have so little participants, we kind of think is it worth doing it? But then it's stories like this that makes it completely worth doing it, because it's it doesn't matter. We don't have to please X amount of people. If we've pleased even one person and made their life better, then that's us fulfilling what we do as a charity. It's not about numbers. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. So knowing that we've help someone along their way is brilliant. And that's what pushes us to carry on and do more and to make what we do work. Because I know that, like I said, applying for grants and funding is really difficult. And there's always a very specific criteria that we have to tick. And, having a set amount of participants is one of those criteria. But we always push, and Diana, our director, is brilliant. She'll always find a way to kind of twist it and turn it to make it so it works. So we can still run the workshops, and we can still make a difference really, and get around that funding criteria. So that it really does help. It helps us to carry on, to persevere, and to do all that we can to help others.
And that is the point. And that's the point, getting people involved in what we do. So Get In was pretty much a spearhead for us creating our music traineeship courses, and Corey came on that as well. So through Get In, Corey remained a friend of Unit 9 and a friend of ours, and he keeps in contact all the time, which is amazing. We love to see how he progresses. So when we started our first music traineeship course, we asked Corey to get involved because, one, it would give him more opportunity to record and get involved in music, which is obviously your huge passion, Corey. But also, how did it help you with interacting, excuse the pun, with other people, like, because clearly that's one of the things that you find slightly difficult as well. So interacting with other people. So from the Get In course to when you came on to our music traineeship courses, because I know you made some good friends there as well. How did your sort of mental capacity change?
Well, from the first course, like I said before, I was nervous, didn't know what I was getting myself in for. And I came on the second course and I kind of expected, a certain standard of myself to go in there and be like, it's going to be no different. It's just going to be different people. And it's just going to be a little bit of a different style to what it was before. So I went in there, didn't take me long. I started speaking to a few people from there straight away. There were a few people that did the same sort of music as me. So we started talking. And then I just really challenged myself. I pushed myself to go in there and actually make friends, talk to people. And when I got into the studio, I was recording all my music and stuff. And obviously I came back in to where all the mixing and mastering's done. And a lot of people were giving me comments on my lyrics and stuff, saying how powerful and how much of an impact the lyrics were for them. And it kind of touched me a little bit, because it kind of surprised me, because that's what my music's about. It's about sending a message across that a lot of people can relate to, because obviously there's thousands of people that suffer with mental health. I'm not the only one that has autism in this world. There's thousands of others as well. And I want to be like a statue in society to be able to speak out for them sort of people. So I'm like a voice for them people.
One of the things I think that's really important to take away from all creative art is it empowers you to either portray a message to people, but also it empowers you to be a stronger person, and you learn a lot from it. So let's just get back over to Jesita quickly.
Say Jess if you want.
I'm going to say Jess. No, don't worry. It's my fault. So Jesita has her own talent. So obviously you're part of Interaction MK, which is an arts charity, but I'm assuming you probably found that route in because of your own art love as well. Tell us a little bit about what you do in your own time, and what helps you, how it helps you as well. And while you're doing that, I'm going to flash some of the artwork onto the screen just so people can see what it is you've created so far, and just a little bit of what you've created anyway.
So I'm actually a freelance artist. So I didn't actually find Interaction through my art. I actually did my work experience in year 10 with Interaction MK, which is how I found out about them. And ever since then, I kind of stayed with them, was a volunteer, and then finally got an official job with them. So they actually started off my art journey because they allowed me an art studio. So because I worked there, they gave me the studio for free, which really encouraged me to kind of create art and gave me the confidence to kind of take it as a side job. And now I do it, full time. So I'm kind of like, I have my own studio now. So I'm an artist full time, but then I also work as a freelance project manager for Interaction. So I do a lot of colourful paintings. So before I used to kind of think that, what I paint is like doesn't depict how I feel or anything like that, and there's no real meaning. I like elephants. I love colour. So I paint a lot of it. But I think it does kind of, when I do sit down and think about it, it does reflect who I am. I am a very, like a lot of people say, a very like colourful person and personality as well. So that's kind of why I add a lot of colour to animals. I like to show animals like in a different way using colour. And I bring my Indian culture into it. So I'm Hindu. So I hand draw henna patterns and stuff. So as you probably saw the rainbow, that was one thing that I'd done during lockdown. I used a colouring sheet of a rainbow that people could colour in and put up on their windows to kind of support the NHS and the key skilled workers. So yeah, usually I would be working at Interaction for a few hours, and then I would go up to my studio. Luckily, it was in the same building. I'd go up to my studio, spend the rest of the day there. And, being an artist is good. It's tough though. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, wow, like you're an artist. That's really cool. Like, you're so creative, but it's really hard to kind of keep that creativeness going. And Jamie, Dom, Corey probably all know what it's like. Sometimes you hit a block. I don't feel like painting every day. Every time I'm in my studio, I don't do like painting. I'm not like doing solid work, but I know that I'm constantly being inspired by different things, and I've got all these creative ideas in my mind. So yeah, that's what I do.
Jesita, your paintings are incredible in terms of the way they are put together. Yeah, the colours are just amazing. So you mentioned you get your inspiration from your background, from all sorts of aspects of your life. When you were little, did you want to become a painter? Is that how you saw your life going? And so just kind of bringing us out of this kind of chat for a while. Did you want to be an artist when you were little? And did your framework through schools in Milton Keynes give you that opportunity?
So when I was younger, I've always been into art. I've always drawn and coloured when I was young. But no, I didn't always want to be an artist. I actually thought the only job I could do was to become an artist. And like, I guess when I was younger, it was kind of like seen that being an artist was very hard and difficult to get into and not successful, unless you were, one of the lucky ones. And I also kind of believed that you became famous after you died. So that kind of discouraged me a bit as well. So the only other job that I thought I would be able to do was become an art teacher. That's the two jobs that I thought were the only things you could do when you take an art path, was to become an art teacher or to become an artist. So while I was in school, still I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, I'm going to become an art teacher. It made me realise that I didn't want to be an art teacher for anything younger than GCSE, because I realised that everyone in the class who doesn't like art and has to do art was a nuisance. So I knew that I wanted to only teach people who were actually interested in art. And then it wasn't actually until I'd done my work experience with Interaction MK that I realised that there are other jobs that you can do within the art sector. So I never knew there was such thing as community art. I didn't even know what it meant. Even when I was working at Interaction during my work experience, I didn't really know exactly what it was that they were doing. I just kind of went with the flow. So understanding that made me realise, like, wow, okay, there's so many different things I could be doing. And like I said before, as I worked at Interaction, I was given a studio, and then that gave me a taste of what it was like to be an artist with their own studio, creating art on the side. So then I've always kind of done interaction and art at the same time.
Dom, it's a bit like Amy in last week's episode, how she had that passion, that hobby for radio. She didn't really, she trained as a dancer, and she's kept within entertainment, and she's ended up on a national radio station as a presenter. It's the same sort of thing. You just don't know where your hobby / talent / passion is going to take you. But it's really important, and I think it's important for education to teach us as well. We all have goals, and we all have that aim of what we really want to do, but never close off opportunities that have alignment with your talent or hobby, because you just don't know where it's going to take you. And Jesita, you went into Interaction MK volunteering, but it's ended up, from doing that, they've given you a studio. From giving you a studio, you've created an income, and all of these things link together. But actually, your first step, you would never have seen them outcomes. You would never even known that was going to come. So it's very important that, I think, just sending the message, if you have a passion and a talent, go for it, but also keep doors open and keep trying new things, because you don't know where the next step is going to come and what is going to come.
And I just wanted to jump in there quick. I actually didn't go to uni either, so I applied for uni, and in my mind I thought, okay, I'm gonna do an art degree. So when you do an art degree, you do a foundation year first to kind of like test out everything and figure out what pathway you want to go down. So I actually applied to do a foundation at Northampton Uni, and I think it was a day before I was starting, that I was meant to start at uni, I rung them up and said, I just want to cancel everything, I don't want to do it anymore. And it was because during the whole summer, we had a summer project that we had to do, which we had to present as soon as we started uni to all our fellow classmates. And I didn't do anything, didn't do absolutely anything. And I was going through kind of like a tough time in life at that point anyway. So I kind of thought, okay, I don't want to do that. But that was a big thing for me to say no to, because coming from an Indian background, it's kind of like, education wise, you have to go to uni. Like, you are kind of pushed to go and pursue. And I'm very lucky that my parents have not been strict on me, that they've kind of allowed me they've trusted me to do like what I want, because I did well in school. I done well academically. And I showed them that, you know, I'm not like a dosser, and, you know, I did well on my grades. I studied. So after that, I didn't go to uni, and I actually thought that was a big decision, a big like bad decision, because I was only working at Toys R Us. I'd stopped, obviously, in my work experience with Interaction, so I was only volunteering there whenever they needed volunteers. So I wasn't really there a lot. So I was just working at Toys R Us, and it wasn't until one of my previous managers, who also gave me, she worked at the work experience company and gave me the work experience in the first place. She was now a manager there at Interaction, and she called me up one day when I was literally on the bus to go to work at Toys R Us, and she said, "Oh yeah, we'd like you to intern for one of our summer festivals. I think you'd be great. Like, you know, you're really creative. Like, you do all the decorations, things like that." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds amazing," and it was paid. So I was like, "Okay, this is great." And then yeah, I kind of like went down that route through there. But honestly, at that point, when I turned down uni and I was just working at Toys R Us, I thought, wow, is this my life? Have I made a big mistake? But then you just don't know. You just don't know what's around the corner. You can't give up. You can't give up. And even if it could be like, for me, I was really lucky that I went through like maybe just a few months of not being at uni to then get that opportunity. But it could be like a few years of you doing something that you don't enjoy doing. But don't give up. There's always going to be something that comes around. Like, everything happens at the right time. So that's all I would say. It's just always create on the side if you can.
You found creativity inspiring, and that's what we're sort of getting across on this program. You know, we're talking to a lot of people that create, whether it's, you know, we had Nancy Morel, who's a TikTok influencer. So her creativity is different. She's basically making content online, but still creating. You know, we've had Amy Vivian. She's a broadcaster. Her creativity, you know, spans different industries. She's still creating. You know, you're doing art. Corey, you're doing music. Can you talk to us a little bit about how, you know, how you create, how you're inspired to write your lyrics?
And can I just add in there, how has, maybe use lockdown in this, because I know, obviously we know you personally, so I know what you've been going through in isolation and things. Just add in there as well, how has lockdown helped you inspire some of your writing as well? So use this as a current time.
Yeah, so I use life as inspiration to write. So I don't write every day like most music artists probably would. I live my life, and then I assess what's gone on with my life, and then I say, right, I can write about that. This has happened. I'll add this in. What kind of things have I seen? What have I heard about? And I'll also integrate it into the song as well. My process is very, very unique. I don't like writing inside. I like to go outside and write. So I'll go and sit down on a bench somewhere in a park or by the canal that is near my house, and I'll sit there and I'll write, because inside I get what music artists call writer's block. So I can't do it inside. I find it really hard. So I like the fresh air. The fresh air helps. So the surrounding of being outside helps, and it's a really I think unique way. I don't think I've heard of anyone else do the same thing that I do, and I really try and put my life's experiences into my lyrics that people can relate to. Like I said before, like with mental health, with my autism, and just anything else that's happened in my life or anybody else's life. And like Jamie said about with lockdown, it's been really hard with lockdown, because I actually lost a family member to coronavirus, so that's been really, really hard. And also just like not being able to go out and live my life, which is how obviously I get my inspiration, is quite hard. So I've not been like very motivated to write at all. It's just been sort of really struggled. Like I tried sitting down a few days ago and I just couldn't do it because I couldn't think of anything, because I've not been doing much because I've been stuck indoors. So it's been quite hard for me. But other than that, I actually went on a walk the other day, and I thought, you know what, I've been in lockdown for quite a while now. what's happened. And I wrote something the other day, which I sent to Jamie personally. I'm currently working on that at the moment and tweaking around with that and seeing what I can do with that.
And that you sent me is inspired by being in lockdown in isolation. And actually, it's a positive. It's about kind of taking control and knowing that things will get better. Just a quick one on that, Corey. I can imagine with autism as well, being in lockdown is hard because it's change. Structure changes. You like your routine. Everybody is different, obviously, but routine is a big part of it. You've had writer's block, and that's cool. But how have you found coping in lockdown? In terms of, have you created any new strategies or adapted your daily routines to help you that may inspire other people that may be struggling as well?
Me as a person, I've been brought up to just get up and get on, so to speak. So I've had to adapt quite quickly because I've had so much change in my life. So I'm quite quick at adapting, and I hate adapting and I hate change. I really do struggle with change, but I've had to literally just, grit my teeth and be like, I'm not the only one going through this. The whole country, the whole world's going through this. So I know I'm not alone in going through it and stuff like that. I've literally gritted my teeth, marched forward and said, this ain't going to last forever. I'm going to push through it until see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they say.
And that is a great attitude to have. I think that's the right attitude to have. It's not easy for everyone, but like you say, you've been going for walks, taking in the fresh air. That's the advice I've been saying to people. Get outside, take in some of that blue sky, sunshine. I mean, today, 26 degrees, maybe 27 degrees. We're so lucky in Milton Keynes. As I said in a previous episode, I've been out on my bike every day, seeing places I've never seen before. Jesita, you've also been doing the same, haven't you? And it's been helping you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I can't stress that enough. Like I've actually had a block during lockdown. I've not been able to paint. I've just done little things like illustrations, colouring sheets, things like that, and like small paintings. But I've not been able to really do my passion, like colourful animals, elephants, things like that. But being out on the bike and seeing all these new parks that I was born and lived in Milton Keynes. I've never even known these were around the corner from me. And it's incredible. It's such a good feeling. And even though I'm not able to create or be artistic, being out there on the bike and seeing all these new things and having some sunshine, that vitamin D is amazing. So good.
Yeah, me and my partner have actually started doing like a health kick, which I've seen Jamie do as well. Jamie's been starting a health kick as well, and we started going out and playing football and stuff like that. We're starting to like try and eat better and stuff like that as well. So it's also quite a good way of pressing a restart button as well for like your health and stuff like that.
Absolutely, Corey. And what this will hopefully do for us is we're taking in all these great things now. So once we're out of lockdown properly, because obviously things are easing now, it will give you hopefully the inspiration to crack on and, like you say, and give you more inspiration to create afterwards.
Just as a note as well, we're just about to play a little bit of one of your songs, Corey, just so people can. We'll play a little snippet of one of your videos. What's the song called and what's it about?
It's called Speech. So Speech was pretty much, it was the time or that time of my life. I had a group of friends that didn't really believe in me. They were all about themselves. They're very selfish people. And I finally decided to take a stand and I put a song out, and I was struggling to what to call it. And I thought to myself, well, it's sort of like a speech. So I called it Speech. And it mentions about mental health in there, autism, about not giving up, about saying that I am here to stay in this music industry and I'm going to fight to go to the top. I don't care who I've got to go against. I'm going to get to where I want to get to in the music industry, pretty much.
Cool. So this is a little snippet of Speech by Big C.
Yo, Big C. Listen. I was sitting in my room with writer's block, I didn't know what bars to spit. Now I'm here in the booth spitting this. I ain't here to mess around, I'm here to play on this playground with other artists. I'm not scared to scrap and compete for the crown. I'm done 100% of my time dedicated to the game. And to make my name one of the best of all times, my number one aim. I ain't messing around, I'm here to stay. What's with all these people saying I can't be a part of this game? It's like you know the outcome, but you ain't seen nothing yet. This is Big C getting warmed up and standing next to the flame. I know you can regret dragging my name, saying I can't play this game. I believe in myself and so do others. So keep your opinions to yourself if you ain't on my train. Cause I promise I'm gonna make myself a household name. I may be autistic, but I don't make me an outcast. It makes me unique and proves you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And don't quiver in the thought of defeat. I never give up. Shout out to all the people with disabilities and mental health. I know how it feels to struggle. Don't worry, it gets better. Just stay strong and stay true to yourself. Block out the liars, scammers, fakes and snakes. Don't worry, it's never too late. I'm telling my story and I know so many of you out there will relate. I'm on my own path to success and I know who deserves to come along with me. Although that might be a long wait, I'm gonna play this game. And if I have to fight the bosses, then so be it. I count my blessings every day and I know who my true supporters are. Shout out to you, I got all of you, you're here to stay. I got dreams and big moves I wanna make in this game. And I ain't gonna let no one stop me. I don't care what they say, self-belief is the key. Don't care what all the haters say, they're just jealous because they ain't in your lane. What can they achieve that you can't? Nothing. So don't hold back, give it all you got. And prove them you wanna shine like the big world superstar you wanna become. And if your light shines strong, make sure you stay humble, remember where you came from. Don't get greedy in all of the hype. It's gonna be hard, but I know that you and me, we're gonna fight. And make sure we're all sitting on the same wave, in the same pedestal height. But that doesn't mean that we have won the fight. The success, the road never stops, so keep pushing like we're looking for the winning goal to score. My name's Big C, and I'm here to stay and fight my cause. Yeah, Big C, I'm here to stay, and I'm gonna fight.
Cool. Well, that was that really inspiring, Corey. You know, you're using words to send a positive message and to help inspire other people, which is really amazing. And I think on that note, with everything that's going on in the world, it was a great way to kind of end. So thank you both for joining us today. Just a really quick one. One sentence from each of you. What advice do you give to people who may be a little bit trapped at the moment? Everybody's got some expressive art within them, whether it's drawing, rapping, singing, writing, painting, whatever it may be. Give us a little one sentence of advice for people that may be struggling through lockdown currently. Jesita first.
I would say, I'd probably say, if there's a song that you really like, I know that it helps me. There's a song that I really like. I think everyone has that song or that thing or something that really lifts up your mood. I would say just whatever you're doing, just stop and listen to that song or stop and do that thing. And just remember that it, like, even during this time, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have an unproductive day. But just remember that, you know, no matter what, you can lift yourself back up again and come out of this.
Great message. And Corey?
I'm actually going to say one of my own quotes that I live by every single day. And that is, even if you're hurting, your pain will become success. I live by that every single day because the whole world is hurting right now, but eventually it's going to become a success because everyone's going to find something new out of the whole situation.
And on that note, I think that's a perfect way to end. So thank you so much, both of you. And we will see you both very soon.
Yeah. What an inspiring episode of Speak Up MK. It was wonderful to speak to Jesita and obviously Corey, Big C, talking about how they've created through lockdown, how they think the Milton Keynes system has helped them, and how, you know, frankly, we've helped them with our courses that we do, especially Corey. So with Jesita, you know, we worked alongside her with Get In and then created our own spawn of music traineeship courses. But what do you reckon, Jay? I mean, you know, we're helping people here, right?
I just think the importance of what we've just heard there, two completely different people, different backgrounds, that both, again, connect in the same way. They both have something within them that they enjoy and have a passion for, and it's helping them through this very tough time at the moment, but also in life in general. And quite clearly, yeah, I mean, we can take a lot of pride in the things that we do at Unit 9 and helping the community, but there are so many people like Interaction MK who are out there making a difference. I just think we just keep spreading that positive message and and keep bringing out the goodness in people. And hopefully we can all make a little bit of a difference to the world and the society that's around us.
Absolutely. So, look, we want to get you involved in Speak Up MK. If you want to get involved, if you want to talk to us, please message us through our Unit 9 Facebook page or email us. Email address is below. You can get in contact and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much and we'll see you soon.
Take care. See you later.